Welcome everybody, hope you're doing well. It's an incredibly special day here today as the Rapido Gallery commuter cars have arrived. I picked up two sets of the Metra BNSF and one of the Metra-Burlington, which come with one cab car and two coaches each. To show you the boxes here on the outside, they are all the same for each set. These were purchased from Lombard Hobbies for $285 each. So these are a little pricey, but I want to show you today that these are absolutely worth it. Before we go ahead and get into the unboxing and review, do me a favor and subscribe if you're new, if you find yourself coming back anyway. Completely free, and honestly just helps me to one day make a couple dollars off the channel. So thank you very much in advance. Of course, like the video if you enjoy, and drop me a comment if there's anything interesting or something you'd like to see. But let's go ahead and dive right in. I've picked the 3-pack in the middle here to do the unboxing. It is the same experience for all three sets. We'll give you a quick look once again at this exterior packaging for the 3-packs. Of course, if you buy a single car, you won't have this packaging. So it looks very nice. Here's the top view there. And just the product info on the bottom. The packaging comes with the cab car on the top. And then the two coaches in the set are below. Just get this out of the way. Here's a quick look at the packaging for one of the coaches here. We will go ahead and unbox the cab car, and then of course compare that with the Metra-Burlington set. So here is the Metra cab car for the Metra BNSF. Coming just a little bit closer here, we'll go ahead and pop this open. Slides out just like so. And here we have this amazing model here. Let's take a look at the paperwork first. We've got information on the cab car lighting, so I'll show this briefly here. The lighting does work out of the box on DC and DCC with the wand, but if you want to add a decoder, you'll want that as well. You have some prototype history here. I'll show you briefly. And information on removing the shell. Here's some notes here on the lighting controls. And a little bit more here. These cars do come pre-installed with a speaker, so it'll be real easy to add sound to this compared to the Atlas cars, which just have a DCC decoder. In the little parts bag here, we do have some bearing caps, longer shank couplers, and a DC plug, sort of dummy board there, as well as some additional wires. But of course, the star of the show is this car. We do have the wand here that is taped to the underside of the box here. So I'll pop that off here. It's got the Rapido branding on it. That's used to control the lights, of course. But if we pop this open, it's fairly tight, being brand new. Pop the model out just like so. We do have some nice soft plastic here as well. And there is our cab car for the Metra BNSF set. So here's a quick 360 of the cab car for the Metra BNSF. Of course, we'll take a look at the coach and just compare it, as well as compare it to the Metra-Burlington set. And we'll do a quick comparison at the end to the Nippon-Sharyos from Atlas that recently arrived as well. From very first impressions, these cars are 10 times better than the Atlas cars. In terms of detail, weight, just overall quality, they look insane. Let's go ahead and start off by looking at the most detailed end of this set, the cab end here. So we have a lot of lighting features going on. I'll talk briefly on that and we'll show it in the demo, of course. We have two white lights on the bottom there, as well as a pair of lights up top and a gyro light there in the center. Those will be illuminated when the model is running towards Union Station, while the second lights, the second pair, are red and will be illuminated when the model's moving away from Union Station, sort of out of downtown Chicago. If I move straight on here, we can see we have a ton of detail, tons of separately applied grab irons here. We have mirrors and shades there. We have detail all around the vestibule door, and we do have some train line hoses on this model. The number of the car is located just down here above more separately applied grab irons. We do have a horn here up top as well. We do have detail on the vestibule on the side here, if I show you. Along the side of the vestibule, they do spring just a little bit, sort of like older Walthers cars, sort of the same level of springiness around curves that you'll get. But I'll bring you back here and just show you a very close detail shot in case there's anything I missed that you were looking for. You can see the plow there as well. It's not fully complete, it's more like a cow catcher style. But this model looks fabulous. You can see there's rivet detail as well. And tons of those grab irons there on this end. Moving on now to the side of the model here. I know you can't see the whole thing, we'll shift over in just a second. But we have the large Metra placard here with the BNSF logo and older RTA logo here to the right of the door. Car number is located here. We do have a white painted sill along the doors and a very nice, well done sort of gasket here between the doors. More grab irons towards the rear of the model that we'll see right here. And the sides with the fluting or plating there look great. They do really shine in the light. Of course, these windows are tinted green. We'll take a look at those on the track and in the dark too. But there's a look at the side of the model. Moving on here to the other end of the car, which will be similar to what we see on the coaches, we do have some grab iron detail and metal couplers across all these models. Forgot to mention that on the other side. They are both metal, and the longer shank couplers that come in the bag are also metal as well. We could see some electrical cables there running next to the train line hoses there with silver tipped ends. There's not a lot of detail on these ends of the cars in real life, but it's very well done here on the model. And moving on to the other side of the model, just for consistency, centered up, sorry. We do see a little bit of a different window arrangement here on this side with two smaller windows to the left. We once again have the same Metra logo. Here, I'll show you the windows. Those windows in black with that black marking around are emergency exit windows that'll pop out from the inside. So I'll give you a look there. We do have, once again, lots of grab iron detail near the rear of the model here. And up top, we'll just go ahead and skip to here. We do have the Sinclair antenna there. And pretty much nothing else going on, but that's accurate for this car. There's those separately applied grates there as well. Just a little detail shot. But let's move on to the underside of this model, which is really where all the detail comes together. So you might have been able to see some of this already, but the underside of this model is packed with cables, air hoses, everything you can name. So I'll take just a few seconds here just to show you everything that's going on. Here's that truck detail. Of course, the trucks do pick up power here for the interior lighting. And here's all that detail from the underside. You can see the steps are molded in from the opposite side there as well. Just take a look at this. This is something that really outshines the Atlas model. Although, of course, they are different versions of the car, the Rapido model has tons more detail than the Atlas model. But there's a good look here. I will flip the car to the other side just to show you the additional detail on the front of some of those electrical boxes and air conditioning units from the other side as well. Because this underside of this model is the most detail I've ever seen on a passenger car, really ever, if I'm being honest. But let's go ahead and grab a coach car and do a quick side-by-side to compare with this cab car. Alright, so I've grabbed one of the BNSF coaches here to take a quick comparison. We'll get to the Metra-Burlington in just a second. A quick note, In the boxes for the coaches, there is an additional wand for the lighting, but there is no DCC dummy plug in the poly bag as well. But other than that, the included materials are exactly the same as that cab car. But we'll start here, quick side-by-side long ways on these cars. You'll be able to see, of course, we have the BNSF railway lettering here that we do not have on the cab car. We have slightly different emergency exit or window arrangements there. We don't have one on the top row that we can see here on the coach. Same thing on the other side here, just slightly different emergency exit window locations. Of course, if we move to the same end of the car, you can see that it's pretty much the same coach detail that we already went over on the other side of the cab car. Of course, similar levels of detail here as well. But looking here at the undersides of the model, I'll just flip them on their side here. Coaches on top, just for reference. We do appear to have the same underbody in both cases. As you can see, we have a box here, probably a battery box here, that's missing from the coach, and there are little holes there. So it's likely that they use the same underbody. So we'll see pretty much all the same underbody details here between the two. Just jump back and forth a little bit. Pay attention again to those emergency exit window locations, just small details that are different between the two cars. But still crazy levels of detail here. So that's a quick look at the Metra BNSF models. Let's go ahead and compare them with the Metra-Burlington. All right, so I've gone ahead and unboxed a Metra-Burlington cab here, and just wanted to give you a second and see if you can guess which one is which. I'll give you a quick hint. They are pretty much exactly the same. I haven't found any differences here. Number 801 in the front here is part of the Metra-Burlington set. 811 was the model we looked at. They do have the same BNSF logo there on the side. And pretty much all across the board, the cab cars and the Metra BNSF and Metra-Burlington look the same. I have them flipped on their sides here just so you can take a look below. And this does make sense because all that really happened with the Metra-Burlington cars is they were replated or renamed to Metra BNSF when BNSF, of course, took over. So there's no placard here above the doors for the difference to be seen here. But we'll take a look at the coaches where we do see that difference. All right, now we do have something different here. So I'll just give you a flyover. We can see the Burlington placard here versus the BNSF Railway for Metra BNSF in the back and Metra Burlington in the front. Once again, pretty much exactly the same besides that one detail. I'll just zoom here, show you the ends of them as well. Same thing going on. And same thing underneath the cars as well. Don't want to bore you too much. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the track and show you off all of the lighting features. All right, welcome on over to the test drag here. Once again, I know it's on carpet. I'm still being very careful. Layout is in progress, hoping to have that done eventually. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my track power running DCC here. And look at those lights. Man, that's incredible. So we do have directional lights here. So here's a quick reminder of the lighting controls here on the car. Sort of those locations. If I go ahead and wave the included wand here around this area here. Now the train is in reverse with the lights heading the other way. I just slide it up here for you. To turn off the interior lights, we go right around this spot there to turn those off. You can flick those back on. One note, you will feel some pull here. That's pretty sure that's where that speaker is mounted, so you'll feel sort of a magnetic pull on your wand there. We wanted to go ahead and turn those lights back on right in that spot there. We're back to the forward direction. Of course, if you are running DC, you'll want to add that DCC dummy plug in there because that'll make the lights directional based on your direction of travel. To do that on DCC, you will need to install a decoder. Once again, the speaker is already installed on these cars. I can't wait to eventually have that door close sound going off. That's my favorite sound here. We'll also be able to have flashing ditch lights as well, as they're individually controlled in function setups already. But of course, I'll move our car up to a straight and zoom in here. The car does roll incredibly freely. The only thing is that the couplers seem to be just a little bit low in some cases. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Here's that engineer's side, if I can get it to focus in there. We do have sort of a cab detail in there, but mostly wires going on. Inside the vestibule, we do have sort of a connection here that we didn't see on the Atlas cars. So you can see in there and see up the steps to the second level there on that side. It's very hard to see, it's very small, but you can really appreciate it in person. You can see that railing up there and luggage rack going on with the seats, as well as that little extra seat, that one person end seat there as well. Here's just one more view. I'll show you the front here once again. There's those lights in that direction. I'm going to go ahead and kill the lights here, and we'll take a look at the car at nighttime. All right, welcome to the nighttime Metra. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in left to right once again here. We'll show you some of those details as best I can, because this is incredible. They nailed the green tint. The Atlas also nailed the green tint. Can't see as well inside those doors there. We do see a little bit of light bleeding through the door handles, which I don't think is totally accurate, but still looks pretty neat, honestly. We'll show you the end of the car here. Look at how bright those lights look. Those will look amazing flashing once I get a decoder in here. Let me go ahead and swap the lights to the opposite direction here. It's definitely a lot dimmer, but those lights still look very sharp. They're very well contained for the red lights inside the housing, which looks good. That white light coming through the engineer side and conductor side on the right looks great. You can see those windshield wipers there as well that are separately applied. Let's go ahead and start doing just a little bit of a comparison to the Atlas cars. Alright, just wanted to give you a quick view at night of the Rapido Budd gallery car on the left and the Atlas Nippon-Sharyo on the right here. So the Atlas is of course a newer version of these cars built by a different manufacturer. So they got most notable difference being the larger windows here and a different plow arrangement. This is the cab car once again, so we can see that light on the end. The Atlas car, all the lights, both directions, will be on in DCC mode until you put a decoder in. The Atlas does not come with a speaker. The Rapido here, I left it in the out of downtown mode there with the red lights on, is directional out of the box, and you can control the lights on and off with the wand, sort of the general interior lights, I mean. The Atlas, you cannot. But honestly, side by side here at night, can't really tell too much of a difference in quality, really, because you can't really see the undersides of the models. But it's really cool to have both options here. The Atlas cars are the more modern version that are currently run at the end of trains, while the Rapidos, even this cab car, would fit better sort of as a middle train car. But I'll probably run the Rapido at the end of the train just because I already have the directional lighting out of the box. Alright, and we'll do a quick run by here, led by this E9A with head-end power BN3. Since I don't have any of the BN commuter units, I'm waiting for the F40 PHM-2s from Rapido to come by. So, just a quick look here. We'll see all 9 cars that I own go by here. Hope you enjoy. And it wouldn't be a Rapido model here without some kind of capacitor. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the car off the track here. You can see the lights are all on here. Just pull it off here. They do fade out. When the red lights are on, which I can drop it on the track here. Shouldn't hurt it, dropping it back on with the track power on. And then flip to red on the end. So we've got red lights on, and I pull this off. It does seem like the red light stays on for quite a while, especially the one on the left side, the engineer side. It's just going off now. So a little bit of capacitors on this model as well. Very nice to have over imperfect track. Additionally, these cars were traveling on 22-inch curves, which is definitely the max tightness you can go on that curve. So if you want to go even on 22-inch, I would recommend those long shank couplers. I was able to make it just fine. In reverse, it was a little bit tighter of a fit. We'll show you if I bring these cars past, just to see the fit here on a 22-inch curve. They're coming up pretty tight, but they're still touching there. That's where you see that separation when both cars are on the curve. But these cars do shine. And I did just want to do a quick comparison here between the Atlas car in the front, the Nippon-Sharyo, and the Budd gallery here in the rear. Show you the cab sides here, a little bit different, a lot more detail on the Rapido model on the left, more grab irons installed and such. The roof of the car, Rapido's got additional lines here coming all the way down, so just adds to the detail here on top. The horn arrangements both look good. We do have additional venting detail there and a little cage around the horn on the Atlas model, which is accurate. But they are two different styles of car, different manufacturers. But still, pretty much overall, the common theme is the Rapido just has more detail. And the big spot we'll see that is on the underside of the car. So if you remember for the previous video, here's the Atlas underside, and of course, the Rapido underside. Pretty much not even a close comparison here. I will just show you, just for consistency to be fair here, between the two. But as you can see, the Rapido car is giving you a lot more bang for your buck in terms of detail. Alright, and just a couple final thoughts here to finish off. Thanks for joining me for this review. I've had so much fun. This is a model that I can't believe is finally here. I've seen teasers about it. I've brought it up in the weekly updates that I just can't wait, and it's finally here. So happy. I cannot wait for the Winnebago's F40PH M-2s to show up. Got 3 of those on order, so should be able to more evenly pull a train rather than having all 9 of these cars behind one locomotive. So stay tuned for that review as it comes out as well. But as for these cars, incredible, so very well done. At about $10 more than the Atlas 3-pack, this model gives you so much more detail, notably on the underside, but you get a speaker installed in the cab car here. You have DCC lighting on the ends already pre-wired, ready to go with the wand, as opposed to the Atlas where you have to add a decoder if you want to be able to control the lights on the end. You can control the interior lights as well on all the cars just by using the wand once again. So to me, there's a clear winner for these Metra cars, and it's the Rapido. But of course, it's not really a competition because they are just 2 different styles of cars. But we'll see if Rapido does release the Nippon-Sharyos, and then we'll have a real competition on our hands. And I'm sure if Rapido delivers on this quality once again, they're going to win. But I did want to wrap up the review here today. I know I might have gone on a little long, but when I have something passionate here, I definitely want to show everything, so you know everything that's going on with the car, and I'm just excited to share. I know I don't always cover every little detail on these cars, but I hope that the video itself, you're able to see something if you're interested in something like brake detail on the truck. But once again, pick these up from Lombard Hobbies for $285 per 3-pack. So pretty good pricing there since Rapido sells them for $350. So definitely check out your local hobby shop or Lombard Hobbies. I know they still have a bunch in stock as of making this video, but they are going quick since they are in the Chicago area. But once again, thank you very much for watching. If you did make it this far, do me a favor and subscribe. Again, completely free. It only really helps me to make a couple dollars one day. Like the video if you enjoyed as well, and drop me a comment if there's anything interesting, anything you'd like to chat about. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.